On this video, I would like to introduce the solution how we should deal or how we should see the complexity of the supply chain in logistics. So we have solved this solution already 100 years ago when the automotive industry has implemented continuous flow takt time in the production. But this knowledge has not been applied in supply chain, in the logistic, in customer supplier relationships, in the supply chain complexity. So now I would like to give you more insights how we should work with this, how we should think about the supply chains. It's again small video, and I will roll out with more and more details in the future. When I do analyzing the supply chains and manufacturing, I do always take as a key parameter the time. So the time is not only the execution, that means production time, changeover time, but the main impact on the supply chain is the scheduling time. It is the transport time that has the biggest impact on the inventory, and the amount of inventory that we need to keep for the covering that times is also consuming the resources. So if I can execute with 1 day inventory, I don't need too much space in the warehouse, electricity, warehouse clerks, and so on. If I need to keep the inventory for 1 month, then my costs are increasing. So this is the key parameter that I'm using, and for me it's really time. The only one correct measurement is measuring the time and make this smooth and remove all the time that we have within the processes. Now it's one slide from the lean history that I would like to use as a motivation for the future journey. What it's really the solution for us in the supply chain and logistic. So already in 1920 on fourth production, they have introduced the continuous flow production line. So they have measured all the operations, they have put them into the sequence, and they have put synchronized the tact of this production line to smoothly make the production running. I have put pointer. I have put also the example how this big impact could be when you have the independent work cell that is producing 20 parts, moving to another production space. They produce or they will do extra work on these 20 parts. So they take 6 minutes a piece. So those 20 pieces that we have, it takes 8 hours. Also, we have a work in process 80 parts. So we have another 4 different workstations that are working on the parts, and they bring us open material on the shop floor, another 80 parts. So this is running in the production. So we have really 100 years ago solved this issue. We have put this in continuous flow. We did connected all the dots. We have synchronize the times, and the output is really with the same logic, and the times is that we continuously move part by part, and you see that the lead time for 20 pieces is instead 8 hours, only 24 minutes. And also we have reduced the amount of the inventory that we are pushing through the production. So it's really a solution. It's a 100 years proved concept, but we are not using this in our supply chains. We are still disconnected. Every single step between supplier, customer warehouse, shop floor supermarket, assembly or sub-assembly parts to assembly line to the finished product to the expedition or distribution center. So we have still this process very disconnected, and that's why we have so big potential to improve, reduce the resources, reduce the times, reduce the energy, number of employees on the shop floor. It's really on us. We have the problem. We have and we know the solution. In my professional career, I have got the opportunity to work with both of the logics. That means the push system, the ERP system logic, and also now I'm working for this powerful tool, which is handling real-time pull logic. For logic of ERP, MRP, how the big enterprise systems are working, I will make the next following video, the lesson number 3. I will go deeper in the details. But the highlight from this picture should be that we have this disconnected process that is building over inventory, that is consuming extra resources that are not needed. And by sharing this non-true information with our supply chain, with our suppliers and their systems, we multiply this over inventory, over production, over consumption, non-needed power consumption, resources, commodities, and so on. So instead of really following fully the predictions and expectation of the ERP, it's much more powerful to work only based on consumption. That means I have consumed inventory on my warehouse. My supplier is reacting and delivering the goods to my warehouse. I have picked material from my warehouse to the assembly line to the production. There has been consumed. I will replenish only the amount that is really needed for my assembly line supermarket. The same is inside the production, so I do only what has been consumed and replenish. I do the same logic with the finished goods. The finished goods could be on my shelves, or I can provide the service directly to the shelves of my customer. So I can connect everything in real time. So there is no waiting, there is no time for scheduling, planning, because the solution is end-to-end users. So that means end user that is consuming is triggering end user on my supplying side that is producing the product that the end user is consuming. So there is nothing between. There is real time and shared overview. So that's why I am happy to work for this tool. For the proof of the concept and calculating the return of investment, we do also this type of historical analysis. I always take 1/4 of the year, so you can multiply and you can get the number for the whole 12-month period. So here is some historical records of the customer. There are 3 different colors line of the consumption, which is the black, stock, building, production, running is the orange, and on-hand availability is the green line. So what we do with our customers, we recalculate the situation, we take the deviations, the spikes, the optimal production lot size, frequency, and so on. And we standardize the inventory into such a level to give a 100% service level to the customer, that in this example you see that we did not change anything on the customer side. So we did not push the consuming side into the process, but we were stabilizing the production, and we were stabilizing the amount of the inventory that we were keeping in the shelves. So what was the side effect? We have stabilized also the production process, that we have reduced the emergency setup times and production runs. So that means no critical situation anymore, and we have reduced the extra changeovers by almost 70%. So you see in the past, the orange one, for few parts there were changeovers 25 times in one quarter for one item, and we have reduced this only into 8 times. So it's the ideal process how you can standardize your resources, energy, and your capacity through the production. It really doesn't matter how complex and long your supply chain is, or how far away your customer is and your production needs to support. Now we have the technology, we have the internet that is really reliable to support the global supply chains, and we can connect even very complex supply chains, complex productions, distributions, and so on, to make the logic between the end supplier, that means the person, the work cell where the product is built, connected with the end customer that is buying and physically using, consuming the part, the component, the stuff that we are producing. So we can synchronize all these steps. We can make this continuous flow also in the supply chains, but we have to be open and look for this solution. So no overproduction, no overconsumption, no extra resources. We can reduce a lot. So the numbers are really true. Proud that I have got the opportunity to work for such a great e-Kanban tool as IKS is. It's the best tool on the global market. I do from time to time benchmarks. So the absolute number one is the global integration scope. And those numbers that I have put on this slide are really results from my own projects. So I can guarantee that the potential is there. And with this academy, I will teach you and share with you maximum of my knowledge to get you understand where the potential and opportunities are. And maybe we will see each other in some project. So now you have seen how important is connecting the dots of different operation and put them into one continuous flow, into one synchronized stack. And the next following video would be how we can improve the time that we have now in ERP systems, and what is the potential of improvement when we go online. So where is the time lost in our systems, and why they are on the maximum to perform and support us on these non-stable times. So I will show you in the next following video. Thank you.